First, bats not in the belfry, but in the attics and walls of some apartment buildings in Aberdeen. Residents of two apartment complexes that are just miles apart say the critters have found ways into their lives. Roosevelt Leftwich joins us now with more on this horrible story. Rosie?
Kelly, bats are some of the most beneficial animals out there because one bat can eat hundreds of harmful insects in a night. That said, most folks say the bats and their benefits need to be out of their attics.
So you can hear them through the walls. You can hear them like kind of in the bathroom wall, or you can hear them in the bedroom wall.
Little brown bats are the most common bats in Maryland. Normally you find them in caves and in trees, but in this case they're sneaking into the roofs and attics at the Perrywood Garden Apartments, and they're not welcome. Many folks say they've seen large flocks of bats at night scooping up insects. When the sun comes out, they find places to hide.
Yeah, the little holes that's like inside between the windows, like a hole right there. They squeeze, like the bats don't have bones, so they can squeeze themselves through the little cracks and stuff. They squeeze themselves right through in there. Sometimes you might see birds come out there. And you got the little red vents. Some of them don't have the little white thing to block it.
Susan Kelly with the Harford County Health Department says in addition to Perrywood, bats have also been found at the Cranberry Run Apartments. They've been working with both communities, getting out information about the problem, and they've been making assessments to determine if there was any exposure to the bats. Bats can carry disease like rabies, but the percentages are very, very small. But they want people to know what they're dealing with.
The problem with bats, as opposed to a dog, for example, is that you could be bitten by a bat while you're asleep, and you may not even feel the bite. The teeth are extremely sharp, and the bite mark is not always visible. It's particularly of a concern if there is someone who is impaired sleeping or a very young child.
Kelly says they've already had 2 community meetings, and they're still working to contact people, especially in the Perrywood community, about any possible exposure to bats. No one has been injured, no one has been bitten, just a little creeped out.
It is messed up, but I don't know. I really don't know. I don't like it because I don't like being around them.
The real key is public education. As a public health organization, our role, our mission is to educate the public, but secondly, we want to prevent the spread of the disease if we find out there has been an exposure.
And once again, the Harford County Health Department is still investigating possible exposure for residents of both complexes, but both complexes have responded quickly to help remove the bats. Kelly says Cranberry Run especially has already went out and hired a wildlife removal expert to begin getting the bats out and sealing up any entrances. Perrywood Gardens is in the process of doing the same. They're hoping just to remove the bats and release them back into the wild because they are very beneficial animals. Roosevelt Leftwich, ABC.